We are here on campus at Belle Hill with a very special young lady, the 2A Player of the Year, Miss Belle Hill, who's always working. Last seen you last weekend, you was playing games and been on a field trip today. Coach was telling me about your workouts yesterday. But before we get into all that, Belle, first of all, I'll say congratulations on you winning the state and 2A Player of the Year. We're going to get into that as well. But before, talk about your childhood, where you grew up and what that was like.
So I grew up in Hatton. It's just like about 45 minutes from here. And this past year we moved to Florence, to Creekwood. It's just like 2 minutes from school. So we lived on a farm. And so I had a basketball hoop in my backyard. And I'd go out there every day and shoot. And then after that, just kind of hang around.
Now your mom played at Alabama. And growing up, I'm sure she's had to be a huge influence on your life. Talk about that relationship with her growing up and how that's been, having her as a mom, a college athlete that was successful like she was.
She always knows what's best for me. She always pushes me to do the best I can be, and she won't let me slack up. And we have a great relationship as mom and daughter and coach daughter. And so.
Has she, over the years, when you guys were training together and she's teaching you the game, how many times over the years has she just blown your mind with like her overall knowledge of the game and stuff, and you was like, I never would have thought of that?
A lot of times she has, and she's like, how do you not know that? And so.
But when you come up here, here's what I liked about your story. I'd heard about you this year. I haven't got to see you live because just staying super busy where we're at trying to cover almost all the state. But then the Final Four, I got to see. I talked to Doug Bush and others, and we finally got to see you. But I talked to Coach Higgins, and he told me about your work ethic. He said there's so many nights that he'll go home and the lights at the weight room and the lights at the gym's on when you and your mom's in there grinding. I mean, explain that to people, like how often do y'all do work outside of your required work?
We go every day. We usually go back. And Mom has instilled a work ethic in me, and she's made it fun. So.
When you seen all this stuff that was happening this year, and you guys started out, and then you got to the regionals, and you performed like you did, then you got to the state, and you performed like you did, and then you win 2A Player of the Year. What has that done for you mentally? Has it lit a different type of fire, or how's that all been?
It's lit a fire in me to just I haven't accomplished anything, and so it's just made me even more hungry for next season.
Now, coming into this off season, now things is a little bit different. You're on everybody's radar. People are starting to recruit and talk and stuff like that. How do you block all the other stuff out? Because everybody's telling you you're already great and stuff like that. How do you block that out and just keep grinding, being what Belle Hill's all about?
My mom usually keeps me pretty humble. She tells me you still got to work on so much, and she tells me you haven't accomplished anything, and so she just keeps me going.
Was there a moment this season, during the season, when maybe it was a game or a victory somewhere where you thought, hey, we might go and win this thing, for real, no joking?
We had a kind of a struggle time period during Christmas, and then I think after Christmas and into January, we just kind of were on a roll, and we all just kind of came together, and everybody was just doing their part, and so I think that was whenever.
And you guys played a really good game in the Final Four, the first game. The second game, you guys got down early. If you remember, what were those conversations like in the timeouts there when you guys were losing before you kicked it in gear?
Everybody was we knew that we were going to come together, and so I think we just had to trust each other and know that we were going to get it together.
This off-season, well, some people call it off-season, but it's AAU time for you. You're actually playing up a level in AAU, and I know you get a tremendous amount of work in and you see some very good talent. What is your main focus when you're playing with Southern Stars about helping your game overall?
Playing AAU, I just like to work on my weaknesses so I can get ready for school ball next year.
That makes sense. Who is somebody you've played against so far? Maybe in AAU or maybe in a high school game that you really thought, man, they're really good. Really admired their game. Maybe it's somebody you just watched, like at the Final Four or something.
Obviously, I really, me and Chloe are close off the court, and so playing against her is always hard, or it's fun and hard at the same time. So I have respect for her. And then Reese from Deshler, I actually play with her in AAU, so I have much respect for her too.
She can score. She's got fire in her too. She's a really good player as well. All the great players do this. They know all their strengths, but they also know their weaknesses. What are some of the weaknesses you know in your game that you got to work
on? Communication, working post-wise. My one-on-one skills, I got to work on that too. Like going one-on-one, scoring that way.
Gotcha. And last but not least, before we shut the video down, we let all the players of the year say this. What would you like to say to the people, like obviously your mom, your family, your coaches, the fans who supported you in this run of you winning player of the year? What would you like to say to them?
Just thank you, and thank you for being there the whole season and not giving up on us.
That's right. That support when you guys went through that troubled time helped you guys come out of it and win the state ultimately. Well, Belle, I appreciate you. I know you're a busy young lady, and I don't want to take up no more of your time. And we'll have this video up for you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.